Captain's Log, August 15th, 2025. Hello, I'm Captain Vile. Good on you. Made it to Friday. How was my week? It was not that bad. Bit of a heat wave all of a sudden, frankly. About a month ago, like right when I moved apartments, there was a heat wave for like 2 weeks. That sucked, and I just had like a similar thing to that. So yeah, it was only for a few days, but it was like like the day I had to go out of the house. So I had to walk several miles in the sun. A bit tiring, but whatever. Now, as I said last show, got quite a lot of movies I watched over the week. That being, in order of how I watched them, Superman, Village of the Damned, the original, not the remake, and Weapons, and that will be the order in which I read out my reviews. Village of the Damned was my pick this week to talk about with my father in one of our calls. So, it seems like I was leading into that one, but I was making fun of that first. But 4.5 stars. I have never read a single. This is my Letterboxd review, if you were wondering. I have never read a single Superman comic in my life. My only exposure to Superman and Lex Luthor have been the Justice League United cartoon, and even then, I've never seen a full episode, only clips. If the comic book relationship between Superman and Lex Luthor is like this, or possibly even better, I can fully see why they are some of the most well-known rivals. While it's well shot, the writing is where the movie succeeds most. Very, very well written. Very cool. Such a dumb... Yeah, very, very cool. Whatever, it was cool. I liked it. Such visceral hatred of Lex. Now Village of the Damned, the 1960 version. 3 stars. I would not have been able to beat the kids. The moment, or as in, like, win. The moment I saw their eyes, I thought of beating them to death with a brick. They would have known I was coming after them. Because the kids can read your mind, and the first scene it showed us of the kids like telepathically attacking people. My first instinct was to beat them to death with a brick, and they would have known that. They would have seen me coming a mile away. I would only be useful as like a distraction, because they're all focused on like that guy's gonna like charge at us with a brick and cave our skull in or something. And that's when you, like, sneak in with, like, the bomb. Or, like, some other guns? I don't know. I guess I didn't give my kid a chance to try. Whatever. Don't want to spoil it too much. I mean, it's not that long of a movie. And it's, like, it is an old movie. Oh, well. Now, as for Weapons, the other big picture one. 4.5 stars. Great editing, and I thoroughly enjoyed the multiple perspectives at different times. I'd say the second was my favorite, since it was more focused on the mystery, as well as setting things up for the next person to follow. Very satisfying ending with context. Very funny ending without it. There's a chase scene. If you've seen the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about, but it's... If you were to cut and just, like, record the chase scene, and then show that to someone, they'd be like, what the hell's going on here? It's so funny. It's funny with context. Like, I kind of chuckled watching it. But it's very satisfying, but very funny to watch. I'm tempted to, like, just go to that specific scene again and just watch. I don't want to give it away, but it's good. I enjoyed it. Yes, there's some discussion on 7 hot dogs. There's like a character eats, well, I guess 2 characters are about to eat 7 hot dogs at some point in this movie. It's an absurd amount. I wonder wherever that joke originated from. Could it be an old sketch show? Oh well. We'll never know. Alright, enough of Captain Vile movie talk. This isn't a movie show. It's Captain Vile's Week show. I just happen to have watched a lot of movies. I've also done a lot of reading. I've read 22 chapters of this new horror novel I've gotten into. I believe it is pronounced the Har. H-A-A-R. The Har. Pretty good. I would say it's... Some of the deaths are a little... It goes into details it might not need to, I'll say. It paints a pretty good picture. Like, I'll close my letterbox tab. I don't need this open. I don't know if I'd recommend it. I've not finished it yet. It certainly went in a different direction. I'm at the 22nd chapter. So there's about to be a turning point. I might just go back and read it after recording this. It's a good book, but I took breaks while reading it. So I read the 5th chapter. I read 5 chapters in one sitting. And then I read 14 chapters in one sitting. And then I've read up till chapter 22. In another sitting. Chapters 13, or whatever. No, chapters 5. I'm confusing myself with these damn numbers. I'm a moron when it comes to math. I'm great with, like, words. English was always my strongest. Learning English and literature. That was always good. But I suck ass at math. I certainly suck ass at doing it in my head. This is, like, basic stuff. And I'm so stupid when it comes to that. I'm so dumb. I could never, like, go to a restaurant and calculate tips. This is way off topic. I know, you just, like, add a 0, move the decimal if you want to get 20%. But, anyway, I've read it, a lot of it, very recently. And I'm probably going to finish it soon. But the reason I read so much, 1, it's a good book, and 2, I was waiting for a package that I've missed. So, it was supposed to come at 1, which, like, it's set to come at 1, which, like, do I still have the envelope? Because it says, like, delivery due at 1 p.m. Yeah, delivery due at 1 p.m. my eye. You did not show up at 1, you showed up at 12. And they had this, like, such a faint knock. It was like a... That's too... Hang on. Did that pick up on the mic? That might not pick up because of the wave sound effects. But, like, I was in the other room. And I barely heard it. And I was like, is that the door? I only knew to think it was the door because I was expecting the postman to, like, knock at a certain time. I just camped out in the living room for a few hours reading. And I was like, wait a minute. So annoying. I feel like I missed the package yesterday, and this is like the last chance, because this is like the last moment, or the last time they'd be willing to, like, re-deliver it and try again. And he does this, like, faint knock. I think you'd want to get my attention. You can pound the door. You're not going to damage the paint. Alright? Oh well. I got so off topic. Reading the book, The Horror. It changes gradually what it is. It is like there's a monster. But it's also one of the characters is becoming a monster. Ooh, metaphorical. And whatnot. Very interesting to see that development. But just some of the monster kills are... I just feel like it's... I'm not very squeamish. Like, I'm fine with, like, gore. But this isn't, like... There's an Okay, I don't know if I want to get into this. Especially if someone's, like, listening to this while eating. Here. When you die, if you did not know this, your body voids your bowels. The book kind of brings that up, and it does not need to. It's only for one of the deaths so far, but it was an unnecessary detail that really stuck out to me. It's just alright then. Oh well. And also just like how the guy died. He was like, well, that's also a spoiler. So whatever. Just glad I had finished my sandwich and tea before I got to that part. But it's a pretty good horror. I'll pick it up later. Now, I said I had some talking points that were not off the cusp, as those ones were, if you couldn't tell from my masterful jumping from one topic to the other in the span of 5 minutes. Talking points. So, oh yes, I had one that I absolutely remember, and another one that I was vaguely, I'm not sure if I remember, but I remember both of them. I'll get into one, and if we have time, I'll get into the other. I am quite unsure of how to introduce someone to my YouTube channel. Because, like, if I don't meet new people that often. And eventually, like, oh, you got any hobbies? Like, oh, well, I read, and I write, and I draw, and I also have a YouTube channel. And that's like, oh, what kind of videos do you make? And that, I'm left with a multitude of decisions on how to handle that question. Because there's 2 outcomes. There is, I give them my channel name, and they look it up, and they're like, what the hell? What? He didn't talk about, like, Riddler when we were talking, or who's this character he's using as an avatar? Is that Dave the Octopus from Penguins of Madagascar? I haven't seen that movie in years. Why has he got so many screenshots of him? So there's that, and then next time we talk, we're like, what? So I checked out your YouTube channel, buddy. Could have given me a warrant, something like awkward meeting like that next we meet. Or I do give them a briefing and be like, so you know how there's movies about the Riddler and there's video games about the Riddler? Have you ever wondered what, like, the Riddler would be like that? And then they look at me like I'm an insane person, but then they know what to expect if I do check out the channel. Like, I would just say you're a gaming channel, Captain, which is true, but like it doesn't cover everything. Again, we'd go back to option 1, or they're like, oh, he's playing like not Tears of the Kingdom. Why did I jump to that? Chain of Memories. Oh, he's playing Kingdom Hearts. That's why I thought of Tears of the Kingdom. Zelda. I mix up Kingdom Hearts with Tears of the Kingdom. Whatever. You know what I mean. Oh, he's playing Kingdom Hearts. And then you, like, look at the video before that, and you're like, how Riddler is Riddler? What's that? Or, like, oh, what's another, like, out there? Oh, I guess I did recently upload those animations. You're like, oh, he's got a gaming channel, and there's like, what's this video of him killing a Reaper Leviathan, but it's animated? Or, oh, it's this animation about him singing a song. I wonder what that song is from, and it's from a Donkey Kong television show that was made in Canada in the 2000s. And K. Rool is this, like, sophisticated tyrant. So there's a lot of peculiarities about my channel that I have trouble describing in one conversation with a willing participant, because at a certain point it stops becoming me explaining my channel to someone interested and starts becoming, this person is being held hostage by a madman who is talking about delusions. It stops being an elevator pitch, and they start pushing the buttons, like, so I've got this video idea, and they're like, and then it goes on, and I mentioned, like, the Riddler and, like, Dr. Octavius Bryan, and they've hit the call button to get the fire department there. Oh, and there's also this like discussion of my week every week. This captain's log. Yeah, what? Oh god, wait. What if like I meet someone this week? I won't, but like on the rare chance. And they go to the channel, and then they go to this episode of Captain's Log. Oh, that's funny. Oh, I like the idea. It's so funny. Speaking of like liking ideas, here's the other. This is an out there. You thought that Captain's Log was the normal series? No, no. This is just the more relaxed series. There's still weird things. Like last Captain's Log was a long explanation of a dream I had where Davy Jones was trying to kill me, and I had to go pick up my pirate ship from an impound lot that was made up of several Olympic swimming pools. Anyway. We've got a nautical theme, don't we? I mean, it's Captain Vile. The whole channel's got a nautical theme. But we have time for this? 17. Oh, we got time. It's my show. We can be 25 minutes long if I want. Go 30, but it's not going to be 30, but we could be. What do I have to do for at my funeral when is it the vicar or the priest or the whoever is officiating the funeral to describe me as having died at sea? Now, obviously, you die at sea, Captain, but what's the threshold? How far away from the shore do I have to be for them to, like, go pick up, like, do they have to get in a boat and pick up my body? Or can I be like floating in ankle-deep water, frightening children and threatening to bump into like a beach ball or something? Like how far from the shore again? How like can they just walk into the water and be like wading up to their waist and then just grab like my body and carry me on the shore and be like, yeah, he died at sea? Or also, so if I'm standing on like a cliff edge admiring the sunset and some careless driver backs into me or something and I'm hurled from the cliff into the water, I've been murdered. That's manslaughter. Or I guess if it is murder, like they don't like back into me and they instead, I don't know, shoot a harpoon gun at me and the momentum carries me off the cliff. I have been shot. I am dead. But by someone's hand. Do they say he was murdered or that Captain Vile died at sea? Or is it that like they bring my body in like, okay, he was shot by a harpoon. Like, oh, what a grisly sight, boys. Is it that they can't find my body? Then it's he died at sea? So, what if it's... They know it's... They have to know my body is in the ocean. They can't have it. So what if... This is my will and testament. I drop dead. I am, like, at the supermarket wearing a novelty t-shirt that I think is so funny with the text, if you're reading this through a scope, pull the trigger, and then, like, a sniper blows my brains out. Any bystander who recognizes that it's Captain Vile, you rush me out to open water and throw my corpse in so that no one can find my body. Then it's, he died at sea. Captain Vile's corpse is being airlifted to the Atlantic to be dropped into the water somewhere in some deluded dream to be referred to as having died at sea at a funeral he will never attend. the pintosecond before the bullet fully penetrates my brain and I can still think will be, they're gonna carry me out. Captain Vile. I can see the headline now. Captain Vile dies at sea. Oh. This is the stuff I mutter to myself while walking around my room. But that's mainly what this show is. I wonder what other descriptors there are. What's the threshold for dying? And is there? No, wait. There's never been a died in space. No one's died in space, except maybe like a monkey or a dog. But I don't know. They don't have like the guy with the book at a dog funeral. No. Laika never had that privilege. I don't believe so. I don't know how Laika died. I just know that it was the first dog in space. But like, no humans. I mean, some of them got pretty close to dying in space. But like, Neil Armstrong is on the moon. Oh, that's another point. He's on the moon. He's about to plant the flag, and then like some debris from the atmosphere just beams him. He's dead. Out of nowhere. No warning, because there's no sound in space. No one was looking at that particular angle. Everyone was looking at the flag, and then except with no sound, because no sound in space. He's dead. Did he die on the moon, or did he die in space? How is NASA going to break the news? Like, they'd have to consider it. Or would they? Am I the only one who thinks in this, such pedantic way? I enjoy being pedantic. None of this matters, but I enjoy, knowing what the I have trouble saying with some certain words. At random, too. I used to have trouble saying adrenaline. And now I don't. And now I have trouble saying catalogization. Is that the word? Whatever. Just, how will it be cataloged? I don't think catalogization is a word. That might be it. I may have made up a word I thought was real. But whatever. What's the label? Is it he's died at space or he's died at the moon? And how... the stratosphere... I have a heart attack. I've somehow been, selected in a program. I'm going to space. I'm gonna be in zero gravity for, an hour or something. And then I have a heart attack and keel over. But we're not in... we're not at space yet, but we're on the way there. Have I died on Earth? I don't know, it's like a middle ground, I guess I have to, I don't know, the stratosphere? I think that's definitely Earth. That's just very, very close. As if this would ever... As if, oh man. Then my last thought, as I'm clutching, my ribs, no! Someone open the hatch and throw me into the ocean! It's gotta be died at sea, not died at the stratosphere. I'll have that in the contract. They just throw me overboard. Oh well. Those are the two things I wanted to say last time, but the dream explanation went on a bit longer. Oh well. I wasn't expecting the space one, but it's... Is there a died at lake? No, there's no... You don't go to... Oh, they're at the lake. Sea is way vaster. There's no, oh, he died in the woods. He died at wilderness. No. He's at the woods. But it's... sea is, such a huge point. It's at sea. Or maybe it's just for, military. And, sailors. I suppose if I'm being honest, I'm not actually a captain. I simply call myself. I wonder if I could do that. How could I actually become a captain? I guess, do I have to be in the military? There was that one scam a while ago where it was like, we'll sell you a meter of land in Scotland and you can call yourself a lord. But like it wasn't doing anything, and it was like $50. What if I became a pilot? I mean, I'd be a captain. Or is it just, can I own a boat? It'd be a civilian ship, but I would be in charge of the ship. I would be a captain. I don't know. I'll look into that when I can actually afford a boat. Maybe 10 odd years. Captain Vile actually becomes a captain. All these funny nonsense topics now. This has stopped being about my week and started being about my hypotheticals. Oh well. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.